Hi, everybody. I'm Noreen McClendon. I'm your facilitator and your host for Free to Heal. We are formerly incarcerated loved ones, and we come together every week to try to heal the wounds that mass incarceration caused all of us, whether we were incarcerated or whether we're the loved ones of someone who is incarcerated. And so this week, we're going to talk about, so for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about habits of highly effective people. And this is kind of an extension of that. It is 7 habits for building relationships. And so one of the things that I've learned through the years is that good relationship principles apply to all kinds of relationships. There are some things that are necessary for any healthy relationship, because let's be clear that at Free to Heal, the focus is on healthy relationships, because there's all kinds of relationships. And I have no hesitation in saying that all of us have learned how to function in some dysfunctional stuff. We have normalized dysfunctional habits, dysfunctional behavior, dysfunctional treatment, dysfunctional thinking. And so our goal here is to be healthy and to have healthy relationships and be healthy, if for nothing else, but just for us. Because I can speak for me and say, I got exhausted with dysfunction. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got exhausted. It just, it's too much. It's too much. I need peace. And once I was able to establish peace in my life, I'm not willing to give it up. My peace of mind is not available as a sacrifice for any relationship at all. Not any relation. I don't care who it is. If I think it's going to disturb my peace to be in that relationship, I would just rather not. I'm not going to be able to do it because that's not where I want to be. So this guy, Harvey Deutschendorf, he lists 7 habits we can develop to establish good relationships of all kinds. And when people say good, that's kind of subjective. But in having gone through this and looked at it, I say these are things that establish healthy relationships. And particularly where we have familial relationships, oftentimes when there are people who are associates or friends, we can kind of push that to the side a little bit. You know, even people that we work with, when they have an office door they can close and they don't, and then they harassing you about, walking back and forth and stuff like that. You can manage those a lot better.
No, because when he first came.
Well, I'm just.
No, no, because when he first came, I had said, I like being in here alone. I'd already, that was a ground rule right there.
But listen, but what you don't realize is that's like saying, but I was mad.
No, I'm not.
Because now you have to share.
Okay.
So you have to share. So
share, but I do say, have a seat. Come on, baby. Sit, have a seat.
So
what you going through?
So our lovely Di has been used to working in the office totally alone
2 years.
For years. And now she has to share with Mr. B.
I don't like it.
But he's outside her office. She can close her door and she's complaining because he paces. She said he paces when something is on his mind, and she tells him to sit down. So again, when it's that kind of relationship, it may not be so emotional. Now, if you put Mr. B in a situation when you're talking about his children, now maybe something a little bit different, right? It's quite a bit more emotional. So the first one is become a good listener. Everyone wants to be heard. Many of us tend to listen to hear as much as we want to hear to be able to respond. We talk about that multiple times. Effective listening requires listening to the end of the sentence. Okay, it requires that, so that instead of listening to respond, listening to hear and understand the other person builds their confidence and our desire to hear them. This helps with bonding. One of the worst things in the world is to deal with a person who gaslights you all the time, cuts you off, always has an excuse. This is the classic one. Well, I wouldn't have if you hadn't. Horse crap. You was going to do whatever it was you was going to do. But in terms of listening, a lot of times when we think we know what somebody's going to say, or we think we know what their response is going to be. We are formulating in our minds how we're going to respond to that, and we never hear them to the end of the sentence. We never hear them to the end of their comments. And it could be the last sentence in their comment that totally changes everything. But we cut ourselves off from it because we haven't paid attention. We haven't listened to the end. Ask the right questions. Now, this leads me to think about the 4 agreements and don't make assumptions. Instead of assuming that you know what somebody's motive was or know what they're thinking, ask questions. And so this says the best way for people to know that they've been listened to and heard, they're not always the same thing, but just because I'm listening to you don't mean I heard you, okay? I can be listening and not really hear and understand what it is that you're saying, but is to repeat what we heard them say in our own words. When people know that we're making a sincere attempt to hear them, they begin to seek us out and want to spend time with us. They share more of themselves with us. Unfortunately, narcissists know this too well. They listen carefully, feedback to people what they're saying, and give the impression that they are in line with the person they're seeking. The problem is that they are only listening to gain advantage for themselves. So you got to realize who you're dealing with. And it's one of the reasons why I encourage people early on, particularly women, to not just rattle on and on and on in the first couple of dates. Let them start talking about themselves. Give people an opportunity to talk so that you, number one, you gain insight into who they are, what they're interested in, and it doesn't give that narcissist the opportunity to feed back to you what they think you want to hear and what they think is going to make you feel good and draw you in. Narcissists also listen to know where your pain points are, so that if ever you don't give them what they want, they know how to jug you right where they think it's going to hurt the most. And they do it, and they're good at it. So it's really important to let people talk, listen, and learn who they are. I talk a lot about it in my classes in the prisons, and I tell the guys, you want to listen to the person that you are talking to. You want to listen at the beginning when they're telling you about their relationships with other people. So if they're in conflict with everybody else that they're in relationship with, the reality is they're probably going to be in conflict with you. You're next. Don't think that you're going to be so great that somehow you're going to miss the conflict train. If they scream and yell at people, or if they withdraw when they're in pain, they're going to do that with you as well. So it's a very simple way to see a person's character without having to go through the hardship, the disappointment, and the pain of feeling their wrath, because hurt people. So you can certainly become a victim of their hurt. The closer people get to you, the more they draw you in. But you can avoid it if you know that this is not behavior that you're going to be able to tolerate. Or in a lot of cases, too, it's behavior we've seen before, because we tend to all have a pattern or a type that we're attracted to. And when we see that type, we get sucked in. We like that kind. We like that. That's called the prison that we sign up for. It's the one, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's my type. That's my type right there. Okay. Mine was the strong silent type, right? Ooh, and once I can get that smile in it, it's like a hit. I want that smile again. So I'm, trying to do everything I can to get them to smile like that again, or get them to open up like that again. And that's not my job. And it's a waste of time, because ultimately, if they're not ready to open up, they're not going to do it anyway. And they will feed me just enough to keep me going. Pay attention to the whole person. When people are speaking, pay attention to their body language. If it doesn't match the words they're saying, there may be something more going on than what you're discussing. This will give you insight into them, and your questions and attention to them will lead to deeper conversation and lead to developing trust and stronger connections. So if I ask you how you doing, you go, I'm fine. Or how did that work out? That project you would, oh, it worked out okay. I'm not feeling the confidence. My body language, the way I'm delivering it doesn't match up. So what are we really talking about? In fact, I've had a couple of times recently in classes where a gentleman checked in and he said he was doing okay. And I was like, no, you're not. And I pressed. And by the end of the class, they were like, I'm so glad you did, because I was really struggling. And so, which leads me back, makes me think of something that I've said before, and we've discussed here, is as humans, we tend to be very uncomfortable exposing when we're vulnerable or emotional. And on days when we're really having a hard time, somebody says, how you doing? And we go, fine. It's just a rote response. But most people, when they've asked you, they know they can see something's not right. So what you've done is you've said to them, they take it as they must not want to talk about it, or they're lying. When in reality, if you just told the truth, I'm struggling with this, or I feel this way, people will tend to pour love onto you. And you wind up getting the very thing you need to pull you out of that state that you're in. People can help you. They may even be able to provide assistance with whatever your issue is. But because we tend to, well, I'm supposed to deal with this on my own, I don't want to bother anybody about mine, all of those things. Because of that, we tend to tell that little lie because we don't think people really care. But I've just seen too many instances where people can love on you and pour into you when you tell them the truth. So when the body language and the words don't line up, pay attention to the whole person. Also, again, it leads back to what I was saying a minute ago. When you first meet somebody and you watch how they interact with their family and their friends and their coworkers, that's going to tell you how they're going to interact with you. And don't think that you're going to be something so special that that's not going to happen with you, because you're not. People will show you who they are all the time. All you got to do is be paying attention. Yeah, and believe what you see. Yeah, don't act like, no, well, that's not real. No, don't make excuses for people's poor behavior. Do not do that. Do not prop up poor behavior. Let it land where it lands and then respond accordingly. That's what our responsibility is, to protect our heart and our situations. Remember things that are important to people. If you truly listen to people and pay attention to the whole person, you will see body language that gives you clues as to what's important to them. If they speak of a family member or events in their lives and their face lights up, it's an indication that this is important to them. Remember the small important things about a person builds trust in your intentions. Learning a person's love language is another important way to understand how to connect with them. One of the most common mistakes that we make, and I'll come right to you, one of the most common mistakes that we make is that we show love in the love language that makes us feel loved, as opposed to paying attention to the other person and seeing what their love language is. And they will tell you. You can watch, like, I know a lady who you could buy her anything. It doesn't matter. And baby, that just lights her. And she'll run around and tell everybody, look what Noreen got me. Noreen got, like, and it can be something really small. But for her, that's how she feels loved. For me, you could buy me a Benz, and if you don't spend no quality time with me, I'm not gonna feel loved. It's just, and so as opposed to loving somebody in my language, not that I don't express it how I feel, but understand what makes them feel loved. Because what we're trying to be here is effective. That's what we're trying to be, is effective. What were you gonna say, Di?
I know Tony language is hugs.
What say you, Miss Tony? I personally don't think that that's true, Miss Tony. What you say? Miss Tony, because Diane is saying that she thinks your love language is hugs. Can you unmute and let us know if that's true or not? Hi, Miss Monica. Miss Tony,
Come down here, leave me alone.
Miss Tony, would you like to speak to the question at hand?
Why we go through this every week? Why do we go through this every?
I think your expression says it all.
Y'all don't ask Chester about no damn hugs. Why you always?
I don't know him.
It's so yeah, you know Chester. You
No,
know
I do not. No, I do not.
this. We know him very well. How long we been talking to him? You know,
It's been years.
I
It's been
haven't
years.
been to Chester's house.
it matter. Person with Chester. We had the neck bone conversation.
Oh my gosh.
I've been in your house.
So Tony, I would say
I think it's.
I'm going out on a limb here, but I would venture to say that's not your love language, huh? No, Tony, no, I don't think so, Miss Dot. I don't think that's true.
Hey, Owens,
I don't think she's threatening to give you a big hug when she sees you, Miss Tony.
when you come back, I'm gonna put
What-
this dude in real quick.
What do you think that's gonna solve or prove? What are you trying to permeate here? Where we going with it?
Nothing.
What we going? Do I feed you?
Yes, you do. That's why I'm gonna be quiet.
Very well, but mind
I'm gonna
you.
be quiet because you do.
Did I give you?
See, and I think you hit the nerve, Tony. I think let me tell you why. Because she greedy as all hell, and she love to eat. And if you threaten to pull away your good food, I think you found a place to go, Miss Tony. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna lock the backyard off.
She's gonna be quiet now.
Oh, she's gonna be quiet now.
She's gonna be quiet now. She's not gonna talk about your hugs. No.
She can go to the backyard with the dogs.
No, see, now you get violent.
She's getting violent even.
Leave me alone, Diane.
Okay. So I'm glad we cleared that up here on Free to Heal tonight. We have established a protocol. Diane will not talk about hugs because she wants some food and she don't want to go be sent to the backyard with the dogs. Woo, I'm glad we worked that out. That's the thing. We do solve stuff here. We solve problems here. We solve emotional problems. We talk about healthy boundaries, right? We established some healthy boundaries. Look at what we're doing. Look at what we're doing. I'm so impressed.
I'm so impressed. We've not established any healthy boundaries if we sit over there talking about hugs.
Well, what I'm saying is since she brought it up, once you mentioned that you wasn't going to cook for her anymore and you was going to send her in the backyard with the dog, she has decided that she's going to be quiet. So I think the boundary was established. So I don't think now she may violate it next week and you may have to remind her, but I'm just saying for now, where we are now, I think she understands her place. And I think she got her little lane and I think she's going to stay in it for now. Okay, so I'm glad we worked that out. Another way to have an established an effective
relationship. You see that?
You see how healthy that is? That was effective.
There you go.
were effective, Tony.
Yes, and guess
See,
what? That's true.
That's true. Because the thing of it is, remember this, folks. Most people do not respond unless there are consequences. Behavior doesn't change, Miss Tony, unless there are consequences. And the understanding that, in fact, you were willing to dispense some consequences, i.e., not feeding her greedy butt. I think you worked that out, and it was very good. And you didn't have to resort to violence.
Because I'm ready.
No, we know. We are very clear that you come qualified and ready on any day ending and why. We understand that. That's what I'm saying. This was very effective. And I want everybody under the sound of my voice to just see how easily that worked out just by following simple principles. Now, listen, people will not stop disrespecting you until you make them. And that is by setting a healthy boundary. And Miss Tony did that successfully.
Thank you.
And so now we know. And see how that worked out? Now, the next one. Be consistent and manage emotions. People whose moods swing from hot to cold are difficult to maintain relationships. If we're able to be consistent in our behavior and moods. People know what to expect and are more comfortable being vulnerable with you. Consistency is the attribute most women I know want from men in their lives. Literally, literally, just be consistent. Be consistent. If you want to do anything to make, because we need, as particularly as women, we want to feel safe in our position with you. And when you are all over the place, like one day, 1 week, you want to see us 2 or 3 days, and then you want to go 2 weeks and don't even bother to take our phone calls. Like it just is mixed messages.
You don't even check on me.
You know what I'm saying? In 2 or 3
Here.
weeks, and what? So now what am I doing? So now I'm a little confused as to what the message is. What am I saying? What are you saying to me? What does your behavior indicate to me? And so you don't want to be bothered. Well, if you're not contacting me, for sure, I have to assume that you don't want to be bothered, or maybe there's something that happened. Okay, so when we do communicate, I need to ask the right questions. What did you intend to convey by not talking to me? Because the first question I would need to ask is,
everything okay?
Is everything all right? Is everything okay? Have you been okay? Is the family okay? Those things first. Let's get that established. And then from there, now I need to talk about me. Because see, and I will say this, it's more effective to talk about what I need, what I want, and how I feel about it than for me to start talking about you need to, and you don't, and why didn't you? Okay, anything going with the you is usually going to make a person put up their defenses. You always, anybody start a sentence like that.
Wait a minute, hold on.
That's not gonna go good.
Yeah, hold on.
I can tell you, because, and once the defenses go up, communication stops right there at that sentence. No matter what's said after that is not communication, it is defense and offense. And there is no communication happening. So it's really important to talk about how I feel, how the message that I receive, is this the message that you wanted to send me? Because remember, from the 4 agreements, we don't make assumptions, we ask questions. We ask the clarifying questions. And when a person gives you the answer, if you're not still satisfied, ask the next question. Oftentimes, we don't ask the follow-up questions because we don't really want to know the answer, because in our gut, we can feel it.
No.
We already know. It's like the people going on Maury Povich wanting to find out if, you know, what the lie detector tests say. And who the fuck, y'all know,
Not the
you know, Jerry Springer, look, the lie detector, listen, you already know. When he came in with lipstick on his collar, smelling like another woman's perfume, you know he had been with another woman. Knock it off. Yeah. What do you need to know? What else do you need to know? You just want confirmation of what you already know.
You just want him to say it.
Yeah, well, and then you're gonna fall out on the floor and act like it's the first time you had an inkling that this was true. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Or how could you? You already know that you listen, who cares how they could? They did.
It's already happened.
It's happened, it's in the past, and we have to respond to it accordingly. But consistency, and when it talks about a person with mood swings, even in friendships, it is horrible when we could joke about me in whatever capacity today, and now tomorrow, now I'm mad because you bring it up. Oh my gosh, that's the worst. That is the worst. I don't want to be friends with people like that. If we're going to joke about each other, my son has one of his favorite things is to call me a dummy. So if I'm a dummy today and I can laugh at it today, and then next week, because I'm having a bad day and he called me a dummy, now I want to jump down his throat. Well, wait a minute. We've been joking about you being a dummy for years. And now because you're in a different mood or something has changed in your life, and now I'm the one somehow violating you because I'm calling you a dummy. It's not fair. And nobody wants to be around that person. Nobody wants to be, even as coworkers. I can't stand it. I worked in law firms with a lot of women, and it's like, I just need you to be whoever you're going to be every day. Don't change up just because of the day of the week or because of how you're feeling on this particular day. That's not to say that people don't have a right to not always be on their best or always be at your best, because that's one of the agreements. Always do your best, but Don Miguel Ruiz explains that on any given day that can change. If I'm not feeling well, my best may not be as good as it is on days when I'm feeling well. So, but we have to learn how to manage our emotions and not be up and down, and be consistent in how a person can approach you. This establishes a good foundation for a relationship, and it keeps from a lot of misunderstanding.
And a good friendship too.
And a good friendship, yes, because I have to be able to count on your interaction with me. I can't walk around on eggshells, not knowing whether today is a good day for you or a bad day for you, or that's not a good thing. So be consistent. Be open and share when the time is right. When we're open about who we are and share at the appropriate time. Because it's not the right time in the middle of a church service to start talking about your relationship, okay? That's probably not the best time while the pastor's trying to preach a sermon, okay, or in Bible study. It helps build the foundation for the relationship. If we share too much too soon, it can make the other person nervous. When listening to others, sharing a personal experience that shows an understanding without overshadowing or competing with what they're saying shows empathy and understanding. And why this is really important, I see a lot of people do this, and that is start to, if I say, my mom passed, and now you want to start telling me about how yours passed and all of what went on with you and everything. It's almost like a competition for whose story is the most harrowing or whose trauma is the biggest. We're not trying to trauma bond. We're trying to have a healthy relationship. And oftentimes when we share too much trauma too soon, like it says, it makes people nervous. It makes people nervous. Plus, well, and for me, I'm concerned that I don't know you well enough to know, is this really safe for me to share all of these things with you in the first place? And just because you share something don't mean I have to share my experience. It doesn't mean that. So we have to be, it says at the appropriate.
Type on.
Said it again, honey.
Oh, because you were there.
Said it again. No, I need you to, no, that's not right. You can't.
I'll bring it up myself.
What'd she say?
She said, yeah, you over here when I was all tight arm and I didn't want to talk, but she was.
She was.
And that was the truth.
Yeah.
And do
And
you understand what I'm saying? What did she just say? Which means, okay, I wasn't ready to share.
and look, and we didn't force you to share. There were only 2 times that you needed to speak. Let's make sure we had it on the record, on check in and check out.
Okay, and she said that to you how many times?
Oh, lots of times. And she was still
Every
mad at
time?
me every time. And every time I would ask her to check in or check out, she got hot,
Yes.
mad with me. Like I was picking on her. She always picking on me. Anybody picking on Roberta? Anybody picking on Roberta? That is just not the case. But that don't mean that she didn't feel that way, because she wasn't ready to share. You gotta look, Roberta. Look,
She was
look,
not ready.
she was not ready. This is how she would sit in class, like this.
Brought up like we was in the last.
And we was, look, see, Diane done picked it up immediately.
I sure did.
They was like, okay, she about to explode,
She gonna kill
y'all.
us.
She gonna kill all of us
She gonna kill all of us.
one
I'm always
day.
cracking jokes. She gonna kill her.
They was scared of Roberta up in here, okay? Well, let the truth be told. Let the church say amen. Speak the truth and shame the devil. They was scared you was getting ready to blow up, and all of us was gonna be dead and dead, Miss Roberta. Okay, and now she don't, at least now, she don't sit with her arms folded like that, but she still got a little snap on her, you know what I'm saying? She got a little snap on her now, and now that she willing to talk, she's snapping at us like, "Rah," you know what I'm saying?
No, she be barking at us.
Yeah,
like,
she
"Rah."
barking like, yeah, you know. But I will say this, I much prefer to bark than the silent treatment.
Yeah,
Because see, at least with the bark, at least we know what she barking about, and we might be able to rectify the situation.
Talk to you, baby. Let me talk to you, baby.
Otherwise,
We
we didn't know
gotta do it
what
like
she would
that.
be going through, because she wasn't saying nothing. And I promise y'all, every time I would say check it or check it.
Yeah, she did that.
Oh, she
swerving
be
in that chair. Like,
why is she asking me? Well, because I asked everybody to
I
check
said,
in
"Remember?"
and
I said,
check
"Remember
out.
She told you.
And I
No
explained
action.
it, and it didn't matter.
No, it
Because
did not.
it didn't
At all.
matter. It just didn't
And she's
matter.
fuck us up.
She just,
Okay,
and, go ahead.
And I don't make it no better. 'cause I
Wait,
feel
Miss
like-
Tony, wait, because they were talking. Go ahead, Tony.
I digress. That
Yes.
is not what I witnessed with Roberta.
Holler, Tony, holler at your girl. Listen to
What
this.
did you witness?
I witnessed her
Let me slide.
strong emotion
That was slide your chair too.
and wanting, excuse me?
No, go ahead. No,
I
please
got
go.
you.
Please
I
go
got you,
ahead.
Tony, don't even worry.
I don't know what that. Well,
Wanting,
go ahead.
I saw her wanting, but maybe not knowing how. And we had, and I came in trying to understand what was going on. And I think that's where we bonded. And I mean, within an episode or two, Roberta was giving her testimony and
Well, let me just say this, Miss Tony. You must have missed the first parts, baby. You must. Oh wait,
She
wait,
wasn't
wait.
here.
Yeah, you must have missed them. Go ahead, Miss Cheryl. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Oh, here she goes.
So she said what?
She said, "Oh, here she go." But go ahead, please go,
Who said that? Roberta with the ponytail?
Miss Roboter.
Did she say with the
With the
pony?
ponytail.
That's
So-
and that's true. That's exactly what she
That's
said.
true.
We have to actually see how long it was from the time Roberta first came to the
Until
time
Tony
Tony came. Because it
Yes.
might have been 3 months. And
Yes.
that
Thank you.
volcano had kind of subsided
Thank
because
you.
it was always spewing the little volcano stuff was coming. We thought it was gonna erupt.
Yes.
Nigga.
Yeah, like you say,
Shut
ain't no telling how long yet Tony might have came after we had all kind of
Prayed. After we had
Yes, when we had our
prayed.
birthday. Remember, I said this speech. I'm so glad you opened up to us
Yes.
and took us in.
But- and
Yep.
that,
All that.
that this is a vulnerable place for people.
You
And
remember that conversation?
sharing
Go, Tony.
is not, it's not the easiest thing. I don't care how well of a speaker you are or how articulate or eloquent you talk. It's not an easy thing to do. And some people are not ready. Maybe she just needed that moment or that time to listen, because even when I came, I didn't initially share. I listened.
It ain't about the sharing.
Play faces.
It wasn't about the sharing.
Oh, I gotta be quiet.
No, but this is the thing. This one, I love when situations like this come up because actually both things are true simultaneously. So by the time you came, Tony,
Yeah.
yes, then it mattered very quickly, maybe whatever. But all of the months before you got here, when
Yeah.
we were scared and we had the SWAT team on standby,
Please stop.
we had them on speed dial. We had to
With Tony.
because
Oh,
Roberta looked
oh,
like
Roberta.
she was ready. Because Roberta looked like she was ready to blow up everything
Y'all
in
stop.
her wake.
Set it off.
I think sometimes when I look at Roberta and she has her glasses on, I think the reflection in her glasses sometimes make you think, oh, she about to set it off. But if
No,
you-
ma'am.
She takes
No,
up for
ma'am. We
Roberta
not.
in life, which is
No,
good.
that
She
is
does.
so not true. Let me just tell
I'm
you
glad
this.
she started
Go.
because I
Let me
tell them
just
I
tell you
fuss
this.
too
Let me
much
just
with
tell you
Roberta, and
this.
they said,
No, the
yeah,
bottom line is
Tony
Roberta would be sitting
doesn't
like
fuss
this.
at her.
Mr. Award,
Tony,
I
and
hear
body
everything
language
you're saying
says
about
everything. Body language is everything.
I'm
And then, like I
not
say,
on
and
mute.
then, like I
Yeah.
say, Steve, Tony, what you got to realize is,
no,
so,
sure award, you're not on mute. And it is
I just muted her. I just muted
as
her.
Marine kept talking, I hear everything you're saying about me.
That radio
I'm
voice
saying,
talk.
I'm here to defend my friend.
And
Okay?
that's okay.
Holler
But
at your
and you
girl.
can for the time that you was here, but you cannot defend her for the time that you were not here.
I'm defending her for life.
Okay,
Because
but
I
but you're still
understand.
wrong. You're still wrong because you
I
were not here.
understand.
Oh wait, she in here sea walking now. Wait, this is a whole we don't went to.
Oh, Roberta in there crip walking child. Let me see.
Roberta in that
Cube.
crip walking. Hold up now. Oh,
Let me see
shucks.
Miss Ice Cube.
She got
That's
somebody who want
funny.
to defend her for life, and I am not mad about that. But I just want her, Miss Roberta, and Miss Tony to know both things are true simultaneously. We needed to have 911 on speed dial for the first couple of months
Well,
Roberta
they
was
were
here because she
afraid of
was
her.
like a
That's what Tony don't understand.
That's Tony don't know, Miss Cheryl. She don't understand. But the bottom line is that Roberta was up in here, had all of us scared, including James. Including James. And then by the time you got here, Tony, we had loosened her up a little bit and she was ready to talk within a few weeks of you being here.
Exactly.
So both things are true. Trust me when I tell you, because I can tell you this. Had it not been for the fact I think that we were on camera a couple of times when I asked her to check out, she might have jumped on me. I'm just saying. I think she might have jumped on me because I could feel the tension.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
You're not unmuted. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Because it was real that when you first would say, do you want to check out? Roberta used to say, why are you picking on me? And that's what, yeah.
She did. And I would be like, there's only 2 times I ask anybody to speak.
Yep.
And every single time I would say it so that I can let her know you be doing this in the chair. Every time I would say it, but it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because she would be mad that I asked her to talk. And it was like she was the only one. Well, why is she picking on me? And then wait. And do you remember, Cheryl, that she got to the point too where she would try to leave right before checkout? Y'all remember that? And I would bust her out before you go. Before you go, can you check out? Oh yeah.
2 years or 3.
Yeah, she sure did.
Before you go, hey, I gotta go.
I was in prison with
Before you
her.
go ahead and check out. But she said check in and check out. But you always before we check it. Yeah, when she knew checkout was coming. She get up, get a little stuff together. Oh, but before you go, can you check out? That's she's grabbing that purse and shit.
Okay, so for the newcomers here, Roberta done paved the way to help you learn how to get past your inhibitions, letting you get past your fears and things of that nature. She paved the way for me so that I could understand because
she takes up, but she.
Shut up, Cheryl. Because it's a daunting task. I'm gonna shut you up before your birthday. Hurry up, you ain't gonna make it.
That birthday she don't want us to celebrate that I told her.
Right.
But I don't care if she don't come back till next year. We gonna make sure we have a celebration anyway. We ain't playing with her.
Tony, you ain't gonna shut nobody down because you scared to drive down here and we know it.
Oh shit, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. We're gonna change subjects, but go ahead and finish what you were saying though, because I really think you had something important to say.
I mean, I do understand. I understand because Cheryl brought it to my attention. But everyone has different lessons, right? And so as I stepped in and was just getting to know Roberta, I did not have the luxury of the first 3 months or so. But what I had in that particular moment was maybe a reckoning. And when things would come to light, there were subjects that maybe would pass or grew through Roberta's life and it was brought up. I could see some tension on her, but as I sat back in the background and kind of asked questions of her because I'm coming from the other side, I think that's where we bonded. And that may have given Roberta that segue that she needed to be a little more open.
Is she taking credit?
You know what? Make me hop on the 5.
I love it.
You are afraid to cross the border, Tony. You're not coming here.
Afraid to cross the border in my curly wig. Other than that,
I'm leaving. I told you something. You go home.
That's too late.
That's
but
what I'm gonna do.
I do.
So y'all take it across the border, baby. I ain't scared.
Listen, she said she's scared with her curly wig. Y'all didn't understand. She's not scared to go. It's just with her curly wig.
We gonna get you a straight one, baby.
Well, we're gonna take you one of your straight wigs. We're going to go see Monica.
We gonna get you.
Monica, I hope you're ready.
She gonna be
cute.
I hope you're ready, Miss Monica. Because oh my gosh, you see how they act, okay? And
I'm gonna bring my Bob and Jack.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway,
she said, "Who is that?"
Papa Jack. We don't know. Listen, I don't even think we're grown enough to try to figure that out.
This milk drinker want to know who Jack is.
I do. I know who Jack is.
Exactly.
Oh, Jack Daniels.
Milk drinker, who Jack is. Go on, Noreen. Back to the program.
I'm gonna go back to the subject, okay? because it's when the time is right that we will share when the time is appropriate. And I feel like I do, all kidding aside, really feel like we that were here consistently, we were very happy when Roberta started to open up, because that meant something to all of us. It did, like it or not. And now she feels free to share what she wants. But she still sometimes don't want to be bothered with, she'll say little things on the slide and then don't want to repeat it, but that's okay. Because that's her choice.
We love you, Barbara.
And we love her just like she is. One thing that we also know here is we can't change nobody. That is not, we don't have the capacity to do that. And nor are we really trying to do that. We just want to help people be more effective in getting out of the relationships that they have, what they want out of those relationships.
Don't be afraid.
And don't be scared. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We don't have to walk around in the world. One of the reasons that Free to Heal is here is because it was very important to me for people that came home from incarceration to know they were not the only person feeling what they're feeling. There's a guy, he gets out in like 34 days, probably less than that now. So him and his, and he's gonna be in LA. And I told him and his wife both need to come to Free to Heal. They need, even if they just get online, because they've been married 12 years while he was incarcerated, but they don't know each other with him on the street. And for those of us that have been here for a while, and those who have reintegrated into society, you know that you don't know a person until you live with them. And there are going to be challenges if she's never dealt with a person who's been incarcerated. There are going to be traumatic things that he has residue from, that he brings home with him, that she may not understand. So I told him, I said, come talk to us so that we can help both you reintegrate, as well as for her to understand what you might be feeling, thinking, or why you may be responding in a particular way. Because I always felt like it's the worst feeling in the world to feel like I'm the only one going through this. And nobody understands what I'm going through. There's nobody to help me to understand how to navigate through this. That is a very, very lonely place, particularly if it is something that matters to you. And I found that to be very troubling. So that is, again, one of the reasons why I record and post Free to Heal, because I want people who are not able to be here with us and as much fun and laughing and things like that. These are very serious matters. Like, we can joke about things, but the reality is, for example, and I know she'll be mad when I say this, but in dealing with Roberta really was, it was a thing, and she needed a place to be able to open up and to heal whatever it was that made her feel so explosive. And that's what we're here for. That's why we come together, and it's also why we post the videos, so that people who may not be able to be in this room may know that something is said that they're experiencing. And you guys offer a lot of solutions and suggestions on how to deal with things. And so somebody else can benefit other than just those of us that are in this chat right now, and in this meeting right now. So for me, it's very, very important. Be genuine, confident, humble, trustworthy, positive, and fun. People that build great relationships feel good about themselves. I want you to hear that.
Say it again.
People that build great relationships feel good about themselves. It is very difficult to build a good relationship or a healthy relationship with somebody who has self-esteem, low self-esteem, issues, because their insecurities, their low self-worth, their low self-value is always going to need to be fed or propped up. And it's very exhausting in a relationship to always have to try to prop up somebody, because the reality is, until they feel those things about themselves the way you see them, you're never going to be able to do it. I always like to use the example of a person who's insecure in a relationship. If a man or a woman is insecure, there's no amount of changing your behavior that is going to make that person feel secure in the relationship. I don't care, because the finish line always moves. If you stop going out with your girlfriends or stop hanging out with the fellas at the strip club on Friday nights, now it's I don't want them coming over here. Or now it's that if you agree, okay, I'm only going to go out once a month. Now that you're doing that, well, I don't want you to stay out past midnight. And then once is that, then if you agree to that, well, why do you have to go at all? The finish line is always going to move. Why? Because what the issue is has absolutely nothing to do with your behavior.
But
The
can we,
issue is really in them.
yeah, but can we take that further, Noreen? Can we,
Please.
that because when you say relationship, we automatically assume of partners, but that can also be said with the relationships that you have with your friends and family and everyone else. I mean, we were just in a chat earlier today talking about weak people, and you know, having the bonds. It's not just about you and your significant other.
No.
It's about the relationship that you have. I mean, people really have to understand everything out there is a relationship. If it's your boss, if it's your subordinate, if it's your sister, if it's your friend, if it's your coworker, these are all relationships. And so taking it just a step further and not, for me, not putting it on just that cohabitant type of relationship. It is also the relationships that you have as friends, you know, girlfriends, you know, male friends, or people that you hang out with or what have you. It goes the same. They have the same type of inequity.
Neediness if they're needy, insecurities if they're insecure, constant needing reassurance that you're their friend and that you know, well, I believe in you and I support you and listen, and you can never do enough of that until they become secure in who they are.
I had a friend tell me, she says, I don't like your new friend. And I said, why? She said, I have no other reason than I think that she's stealing time with you.
Oh.
And I said, I would never have thought you would be that insecure. And she said, me either. But that's just the way I feel. She said, I love her. She's sweet. She's really kind. I think that she's stealing your friendship away from me. And that that pained me to hear her say that, because she was older than me and somebody that I highly respected. I appreciated her for telling me that, but I was like, you can't be that shallow.
You know what it is, Tony, is deficit thinking. When
Yeah,
we think that there is not enough, what
right,
she said is she felt like she
right,
was taking your friendship, meaning that you didn't have the capacity to have
right,
a new friend and still maintain the level of friendship that she had with you, which is just not true.
right,
She only felt that way because she's insecure.
right.
Oh,
And
wait a minute, we got a question. We got a question.
So what if sometimes it's actually just being transparent too. So like
Okay.
maybe I don't know the relationship or the context of the relationship, but maybe they used to spend every day together. And then all of a sudden this new friend comes and they only spend 2 days together. And so in some cases, it could actually just be the truth, like, hey, the relationship or the dynamics are changing. I think the better way to approach it may have been, hey, how can we compromise? Like, or, hey, I noticed that we don't spend any time together. You don't go to church with me anymore, or because this new person is in your life, you actually are changing. Maybe it's for the better, or maybe it's for the worse. I don't know the context, but sometimes it is a difference that's happening.
Something has changed, and the person is just expressing the change.
Yeah, and it's not just being selfish, it's also just being like, hey, yo, maybe they don't know how to communicate it effectively. I can't speak to that.
Who knows?
and I absolutely agree with the gentleman. I can't see him, but I can hear him. I absolutely agree with the gentleman. To give you further context, I captured a new friend and she captured a new friend. So what was good for the goose was not actually good for the gander. And I said I didn't have any problems with her hanging out with her new friend, and I wanted to make time for us whenever we can make time for us. And that's why I say that for me, it was her insecurities and it was to me her selfishness, because I thought there were a couple of dynamics that happened. We moved offices. I went to one office, she went to the other office. In my office, I picked up a best friend. In her office, she picked up a best work friend. I didn't see anything wrong with that. I thought it was the evolution of our friendship. But she thought, oh, well, she's taking your time, but she's taking your time.
Yeah, so
You know,
it was hypocritical.
it was quite hypocritical, but but she was being honest, and
Mhm.
I thanked her for being honest. But I told her the way that I felt like she was being selfish, and but I still thanked her, and we remained friends until she passed away. But our friendship was not as tight, but it was still as solid, because I'm not going to be with people who are not solid. So I appreciated her telling me that, but I just don't think that she saw it in its totality.
And you know what is one of the things, like, especially when you talk about how when you guys move offices, right?
Yeah.
Life happens and things change in life, right? But it doesn't make it a commentary on our relationship. And it only becomes that when we're insecure, or when we become selfish in that way. So, and it makes me also want to reiterate, if I haven't already, that good relationship principles apply to all relationships. I try to say that as much as possible here at Free to Heal, because the honesty, the patience, the effective listening, the effective communication, all of those things apply to every relationship, whether it's employment, familial relationships, friendships, or intimate partner relationships. The principles apply. And so one of the things is to be, as it says here, be confident in who you are. Be trustworthy. When people tell me, how do I trust? It's like, I got trust issues. Well, that's because you're not trustworthy. Or you don't trust yourself to be able to handle disappointment in another relationship. But more often than not, people who have trust issues are not trustworthy. And that is the fastest way. What you believe about yourself, we talked about it in the past couple of weeks, right? Through this series, talking about who we are speaks volumes, so that I can't even hear what you say. Okay, so we see the world as we are and not as the world actually exists. We see it as we are. So if I'm a liar, I see the world as everybody lies. I've heard liars say that everybody lies. And I can't say that I've never told a lie in my life, but that's just not my thing. First of all, I talk too damn much, and I'm subject to forget what lie I told.
Out the wrong.
And then you gotta keep telling one lie on top of another lie on top of another lie. And that shit is too complicated for me. Right. Plus, the other side of it, especially the older I've gotten,
No need to lie.
and who the hell I'm gonna lie to? My mama dead. Okay, she dead, and she was the only one who's gonna give me a whooping. And like I told y'all before, I might lie to the police to stay out of prison. I think I might tell a lie about that. You know what I mean? But outside of that, who the hell am I lie to? For what? I take care of myself. Ain't nobody feeding me. Ain't nobody paying my bills. You know, Miss Beverly, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, can I ask you something though?
Please.
Okay, so sometimes you don't trust people because of things that has happened to you because you did trust people. And that'll break your trust. But it doesn't make me not trustworthy, but it's because I trusted so many people that were not trustworthy.
And
And
let me tell you
I
what that
ended
is,
up,
Miss Beverly. Let me tell you what that
uh-huh.
is. It's still you not trusting yourself because you don't trust yourself to pick the right people to put your trust in. You understand
Well,
how?
that might be true.
Yeah, you see, like,
Yeah.
ultimately it still leads back to you. You don't trust your
Mhm.
own judgment. That's why I said it's either you're not trustworthy or you don't trust your ability to handle it if somebody disappoints you again. And I think what you're describing is in that second category, where ultimately, if we continue to trust the wrong people, it's something that we're doing, right?
But how
It's
do you know if it's the wrong people?
Well, what you do is time is going to tell, and what you do is you don't invest everything until they have proven worthy of the investment that you're making. So,
I have family members I don't trust. And that don't make me not trust them.
good, listen, these good relationship principles apply to every relationship. I just said that. And let me tell you something. Family, the first ones, because they the ones closest to you that can get close enough to you to hurt you and deceive you in the first place. And listen, I'm sure that those family members have proven to be untrustworthy at some point, which is why you don't trust them.
Mm.
They've shown all you gotta do is watch their behavior with somebody else. If I watch you go in Nana's house and she done told you can't have that candy out the candy jar when we was little kids, and you was a sister, you was gonna put it in your pocket and have that candy anyway, I know your ass ain't trustworthy from being a little kid. You already proved to me you know what I'm saying, you a thief. You a thief.
Can I say something?
Thief. You understand what I'm saying? You already proved that.
You are a thief.
Right?
Hey.
Okay, y'all, you can't do all that because it's gonna keep dinging on this computer.
Can I say
Chester,
something?
did you
Yeah,
want to say
I mean,
something, Chester?
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy. You know, like she said, who do you supposed to trust? It's like this here. You can have a friend or whatever, and loan them some money, and they can pay you back 1,000 times, and then that 100,000 times they don't pay you no more. So I think it's a touchy situation. You know, I do, in my opinion. Me, I don't trust nobody. That's just me.
Okay, well, trust you better, and you'll be able to trust other people. Because again, we see
Well,
the
I
world
trust
as we
myself.
are. Yeah,
Yeah,
we see
but
the world
I
as we
mean,
are.
yeah, because it's so easy to win somebody trust and betray them at the same time. That's
Have
just
you done
my
that before,
opinion.
Chester? Have you done that
Huh?
before?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
well,
I
that's
mean,
why
I've
I'm
been
trying to. So
untrusting
you
guy
prove my
before.
point.
Thank you.
You prove my point. And see, that's the thing, because you've gained somebody trust and all that before, and you know that you've done that. So what I'm saying, and I do believe that both things are true. I do. I believe that you can, but what I have found more often than not is people don't trust their ability to handle betrayal again, unless they are untrustworthy. It's either one of the two. Trust, I have found that will take care of trust issues. The other thing is, Ms. Beverly, I want to say this, is to give people time to show you who they are. We talked about it earlier. I'm not sure if you were on at that point, but watching other people's behavior when you first meet them or engage with them, how do they interact with other people is going to tell you a lot about how they will interact with you. And if
That's
you
true.
pay attention to that, then you'll get a lot. What were you going to say, Chester?
No, I said that's true. I believe that.
Because you can tell a lot, because what's coming, however they behave is coming your way. Count on it. Please believe it's coming your way, whatever that is. So I say, in anything, only it's like loaning money, and I'm glad you use that as an example, Chester. You only loan money that you can afford to lose. I don't care who it is. My mother used to tell me that do not loan money to people that you cannot afford to lose. If you cannot afford to lose it, don't loan it. Okay? Because then that doesn't hurt you in that way. It doesn't devastate you or cause you problems that you really can't afford to fix. So when it comes to trust, though, giving people time and believing the little red flags when they show up. If there's an inconsistency, one of my pet peeves is telling me, I'm gonna call you tomorrow and then don't call. That's a major red flag for me.
What did Pike tell you?
It's a what?
What did Pike say? He said that all the time.
Yeah, and he said, and the crazy thing, Pike told me, and I like today I had to tell Pike, I said, Pike, listen, I want to be very, very clear. My intention is to try to be able to call you today, but if I cannot, I will call you back and tell you what the situation is. And so I had to do that, but understanding, Pike think I'm here at his beck and call,
Yes.
which I understand, and I spoiled him that way, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I got to take full responsibility. Your Honor, I did that. You know what I'm saying? And so now I got to deal with the consequences. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, though, when it comes down to it, that's one of my things. Don't tell me that, because you could get off the phone with me and not have to tell me you're gonna call me tomorrow. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Love you later.
Okay, like that's dies. Love you later.
Love you later.
Okay, whatever your thing is to get off the phone. You do not have to commit to doing something and don't do it. But for me, that becomes a challenge. I don't like that. So if you consistently do that, if you do it the first time, I'm going to tell you, I have a challenge with that. I have a problem with that. I don't like that. Whether you intended it or not, this is the message that it sends to me, that I wasn't important enough for you to follow through with. And so I don't like the way that that makes me feel. And I just have to tell you about me. I'm not talking about what you do. I'm telling you how it makes me feel. And then my response from there is not going to be something that either one of us like. I can just tell you, I don't like me when I'm in that place or when I feel that way. So I got to be honest with you and tell you that's not going to work for me. You got to find another way to hang up without having to tell that lie you tell everybody, right? Figure out another way to end the conversations with me. Okay, because it's going to cause me to respond in a way that you may not intend. And so, but I got to be honest about me because see, I also recognize that may not be this person's intent or their issue. It may be my baggage, but I got to own it either way. Because guess what? If you keep pushing on that button, yeah, that other heifer gonna show up, and that don't none of us want to see her. We don't like her. She's not nice. Yeah, we're just not gonna like her. So the reality is that give people the time. I think what we do in an effort to have love and belonging, which is such a normal a need,
I'm mad at Cheryl.
that what we tend to do is we rush into giving all of what we want to give to people so that we can have what we're looking for. And a lot of times we do that before the people have proven to be worthy of the investment. And so we got to give people time to show us their true colors, Miss Beverly. And then we got to respond when we see it. If we see that the little thing that they're not worthy of our trust and they're not worthy of that, then what we need to do is step back and withhold some of our stuff. Go ahead, Miss Monica. I see your hand. Go right ahead, sweetie. Unmute.
Can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, I just wanted to, before we get to the end of our night, I just wanted to say thanks again to Cheryl. I was around here piddling around and she texted me. I was like, oh, shoot, time had got away from me. So as God would order my steps, I'm in the right place at the right time when I was supposed to be here. But what I walked away with tonight is just growth again, because what I finally realized, it's an epiphany. What I finally realized is what I've always heard. The things that make you uncomfortable that you see in other people, it's because it's in you.
Yes.
And when you talk about the idea of not, having trust issues, when you work that thing out, trust issues don't always have to be in a relationship cheating. Trust issues can be that you are in a partnership and you have a fear that your partner, or don't trust that your partner is going to fulfill their end of the deal. So the business is going to fail. And
Yeah.
that is because you know that you have dropped the ball on several occasions. And now it's hard for you to trust other people to do it. So you do all the stuff yourself. I have that tendency to try to do everything myself. And it's because I haven't been able to trust my own level of commitment and not drop the ball. So I don't trust that other people are going to uphold that end of the deal. So the trust thing, when people say I have trust issues, when you really peel back the layers of it, trust is more than just in a relationship.
Yes.
Or cheating on somebody. Trust is this everyday thing that we have to depend on. A bus driver, we have to trust that this bus driver didn't get his damn license from Sears or damn J.C. Penney, and he gonna get you from point A.
That's it. I'm moving my truck going home.
Exactly.
And to be able to get you from point A to point B. And that's because you know that you might have bought a damn license from somebody that was fake. You know your ass couldn't drive, or you know that you got a job that you really didn't qualify for because you had somebody slide you up there or squeeze you in it. So now you look at other people and you say, shit, she don't even know what she's doing. She probably ain't even qualified. That's because you know what you have done. But I appreciate that epiphany and that eye opening, because it's helping me again to just grow in so many ways so that I can be better for the human beings that I come in contact with. So I appreciate you guys.
And you know what, I appreciate that, because that's a prime example of what I was trying to say. That is exactly what I was trying to say. And what I will say is we got some folks that's got to go. So before they go, I need them to check out. Yeah, no, for real. No, yeah. Oh, I'm on it. You best believe. One thing I can tell you, Miss Roberta, I'm consistent as a motherfucker. That's what I am. And I need y'all before they gotta go. So I need them to check out. You gonna check out, Miss Donna?
Yes. I enjoyed the topic tonight, and thank you,
Monica.
Monica, for the Sears driver's license.
Oh,
I needed that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mr. B, you want to go ahead and check out for us, please?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the conversation this evening as well too. I think the only thing that I was just thinking about that may be a little bit different is I've been the person, and I think we probably all have been, but I've been the person that has been, I didn't call when I said I would call, and didn't show up when I said I was going to show up. And it wasn't because I didn't care even. It was because other things came up or whatever, for whatever reason, right? But I think sometimes we may overly think it. And I've actually had a person check me or quote unquote talk to me. And sometimes it's just healthy to have conversations that say, hey, when you don't call, when you say you will, it makes me feel this way. And from that point forward, I didn't know I was having that impact on them.
Right.
And so because they brought it to my attention, it made me aware of something, a problem that I was creating unintentionally. Not because I didn't care, not because I didn't want to show up.
And that's what I was saying.
I got caught up in the moment. So
and that's what I was saying is the fact that for me, because it is a baggage issue for me, I will let you know, hey, that's a challenge for me, because that's going to bring up a person that you don't like. But I will say this, though. It doesn't matter if you cannot do what you said when you said you would do it. It is what you do at that point, okay? So if something came up, it's as simple as a communication that something came up.
So I think, but I think even beyond, I think but I've also been the person when it came up, I was just so busy, I had stuff going on. I think the most important thing is if somebody brings it to your attention, and at that point, you don't choose to do something.
Well, so at that point, that's when it's time to kick you to the curb. But when I bring it, but what I want to say to you though is I don't want to let you off the hook. That it's okay, no matter what your reason is, right? I don't want to let you off I don't want to leave because see, you may get it, but there are people who may listen to this who may think that that's a justification for that because you get busy or whatever and things just got caught up. So I'm saying to you, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
But the thought wasn't complete in terms of what I'm communicating is whoever's listening, inclusive of us, don't be afraid to have the conversation.
Absolutely.
Is what I was trying to communicate, because in some cases, it may not actually be a confrontation. In some cases, it may actually be a welcome guidance for a person who actually cares and loves and didn't mean to make the mistake. So that was what I was intending to. I was still in the wrong, but when they brought it to my attention, it was like, oh, I didn't even mean for it to be like that. And I won't let it happen again. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. That was a bad look.
And that's awesome.
And like my player partner right here, she would go in and out of town. I'm like, you need to text me and let me know that you made a mistake. She did a few times, and she didn't do. I said, wait, hold on. I really mean I need you to text me. You live alone. You moving alone. I need to know that you're okay.
Yeah, and then I just needed her to do the same thing. Yeah, see, the pot falling the kettle black, right? So we just had to let the pot know she needed to function the same way with the kettle.
It's not always a confrontation.
No, it's not.
Sometimes it's just
it's not. And it can change. But see, we have to be willing to have the conversation just in case, because that's one of those times if you having that conversation and then they do it again, now you know that it's now it's a problem, and now we got a decision. We got two choices: stay or go. Okay, and that's where most people don't want to get why they don't want to have a conversation.
Tell Cheryl I'm mad at her and Tony because when they go get the chicken from Wingstop over here, be fresh.
Diane is mad with you and Tony, Cheryl.
Yes.
Because when y'all go get the chicken from Wingstop, it's fresh. I have no idea what that means. I just wanted y'all to hear what she said. I'm convinced, and she's gone now, so I can't even get clarity. I would love to hear from Harry. Anything that stood out tonight that you want to share with us on your checkout?
Well, I'll tell you what, the conversation was deep. It was very insightful. But, I mean, it was back and forth, and there was a lot of, I would say, errors, thinking errors, thoughts, distortions, a lot of stuff there, and sometimes you can get wrapped up in situations where your mind kind of like goes in different directions, but you just got to stay in the pocket. If you just keep your feet on solid ground and just like you said, listen, understand the other person, what's going through, and maybe that might not set you up, but it gives you a little bit more insight about what type of relationship is this, right? Is it for
So
me?
you were saying
right?
that, you were saying that there were thinking errors that we discussed people having, or were there errors that we were thinking? Because I want to make sure, because if that's the case, I want you to tell us what you, because listen, ain't nobody right about everything all the time. So I want to make sure to give you the space to talk about that.
No, I can only speak for myself, right? And some, like, for a lot of guys that you know, we did a lot of groups and stuff like that, man, we kind of like, I mean, you could be in a situation where you're not, we don't quite understand, you know, what the heck's going on, right? And the mind could go off and start thinking negative thoughts,
Yeah,
right?
okay, I got you.
And it's a situation. It just, I guess, just stay in the pocket. You know, just don't go there. Don't
Got
go
you.
there. You know.
Got you.
And I don't. Like I always did. You know, I always get a lot out of these groups when I'm here. I'm a good listener, patient. You know, and it's, I guess, sometimes you have to really do some soul searching. You know, I mean, if that one person is not the one, I mean, move on.
Move on, keep
Move
it
on.
moving, keep it moving. I appreciate that. Thank you, Harry. Thank you. Miss Cheryl and Miss Monica, can you guys check out for us?
I just wanted to say that I'm glad that you said that about the reason you're doing this is for people who aren't here in prison at this moment, they'll be able to know that they're not alone. And that's real important because Beverly will say occasionally, if this had been around when I came home.
Yeah.
And what I said, I told to April Blue Ink now that there are people who are going to come home that aren't going to halfway houses. They aren't going to homes or
Yeah.
anything. They are going straight home to their family and they're going to live in turmoil because they don't understand what's happening is what comes from us being incarcerated.
And
So
their
thank
family
you.
members
Monica?
don't understand either and don't know how to respond to them. Their family members don't know
Yeah,
either, you know,
yeah.
and a lot of families have broken up during that time because there's no understanding, there's no place to vent, there's no place to nobody understands what I'm going through on either side. And then we don't have language because a lot of times, Cheryl, people coming home don't even know that that's what the issue is. It takes a minute to even figure out why am I feeling this way? What is this? You
Because
know,
people are so happy to get free, and they think that the family is going to be. Some people are happy to see you, but people, it's just like I and some of the things that when I speak or I've talked, some of the things that come out, and one of the things they posted on when I did testify on my poster, it says, "When we go in, we die. When we come out, we're alive," and that's what our friend Olga told me. She said, Cheryl, when I came home, I said, oh, it don't even seem like they happy I'm here. She said, Cheryl, when we go in, we die. When we come out, we're alive. And we have to fit into their lives where we do. You have to get in where you fit in. And the truth is, sometimes you don't fit at all.
and the cool part about that, Cheryl, is it may not even have anything to do with the fact, oh, Bert, can you get that for me? It may not have anything to do with the fact that you went to prison. That may have been a relationship that would have fizzled out over time anyway. Do you understand what I'm saying? It may have been something, a relationship that was for a season as opposed to one that was for a lifetime. And sometimes even family members, we have seasons with family members. And so
I'll talk about my family.
it is true nonetheless. You see what I'm saying? It's true nonetheless that sometimes there's not a place for us in the folks' lives that we would want to have. And the other thing too about that, Cheryl, is that a lot of people time freezes right there. Wherever you were incarcerated, time freezes right there for everybody around you. I'm thinking you're trying to clean Nicholas's ears, right? That's a prime example. He was still that 4-year-old little boy, but he was a grown man. He's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He had to remind you, no, I'm grown now, right? So, and some people want to freeze you as the person you were that went into prison, and that's never the case. The person who comes out is never the same, if nothing else, but the passage of time, we age and mature, or just age, right? So those things happen, but it's very difficult when people don't have anywhere to go or anybody to say, oh my gosh, somebody understands what I'm feeling or can explain something that I don't understand. I have an anxiety attack about going in the store because there's too many choices of kinds of potato chips. And that makes me uncomfortable because we only had 2 kinds, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so this is too much a sensory overload. Like I learned from dealing with people coming home from incarceration, I do not advocate doing the welcome home party for somebody been gone for 20 years, right? I don't advocate it because it's too much. Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you. It's too much noise, it's too much touching. It's a whole lot of things that I've been told from too many people who did long periods of time incarcerated that is too much too soon. So maybe give them a chance to ease in and that kind of thing back into society before you bring this great big gathering together again. So these are things that we've learned, but just from having these conversations. And that's why, again, why I post them, because I'm afraid that there are people who don't have access to these kinds of conversations. So thank you, Ms. Cheryl. Ms. Monica?
What
Mrs.
Cheryl said.
Miss E?
What Cheryl said.
Okay. Oh,
was
you know
good.
what? Okay. I heard that. I know that's right. I know that's right. Miss Vivian, sweetheart, you still with us, darling?
Yes, ma'am, I'm still here. I
Yes.
mean, it was very deep tonight. I mean, trust issue. Whoo, I'm too trustworthy now. I've learned since I've been home that I have to cut trust off sometime. And
Uh-huh.
with me cutting trust off, I'm looking like maybe I'm wrong. Then I bargain with myself. And bargaining with yourself ain't good because
Okay.
okay, maybe I shouldn't have. Okay, maybe if I just been there, I either situation or circumstance where okay, my bestie, okay, she went through some changes. Listen to a nigga, and I felt like you took that nigga side. So
Mm,
I got on that basketball and roller skate on out of there. You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
And I feel like, man, I should have been there. She broke trust. That was a trust issue that she broke.
Mm-hmm.
It was our friendship value
Mm,
from
mm,
the inside to the outside world.
that's hard.
And I beat myself up about it. I bargained with myself. Then I found myself, okay, I had to straight out tell her, look, you don't let no so put no tag on no label on you. Cause if we free and we gonna ride together.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be like Mike, you know what I'm saying? We riding on up in now.
Right.
But trust issues a lot that I'm really working on again because I have too much trust in people. I put too
Well,
much trust.
and I think, the issue is, Ms. Vivian, is again, extending trust to people who haven't earned it. Watching their behavior again with other people and only extending the amount of trust that they have shown worthy and that they have earned. It definitely, once we do that, we will find that we're less disappointed and people are not breaking our trust because we haven't extended something to them that they haven't earned yet. So I think if we focus on us as the center of that, and I would say when you talk about bargaining with yourself about how much to trust or whatever, if you have to do that, to me, it sounds like it's something you need to with that they haven't earned the kind of trust, or maybe they have broken the kind of trust that you have given
Yeah.
them. They may have earned it before and proven it. And if you talk about somebody you knew inside and out, the person on the outside ain't the same person that was on the inside because the circumstances are not the same.
Woo,
Okay.
you sure get the nail on the head then.
They are not the same. That person that comes on the other side of that wall, listen, I have seen women in prison and seen them on the street and almost didn't recognize who they were.
Mm-hmm.
They look so like, and everything about their body language, the way they carry themselves,
Mm-hmm.
totally different because what they had to do or what they felt they had to do or who they felt they had to be incarcerated is not the person they feel they need to be outside. Plus,
Ooh-wee.
remember this, coming on the outside is an opportunity to reinvent yourself. And some people
True.
take it and totally reinvent themselves, and their true character comes out. So it's a matter of paying attention and understanding that when a person comes on the other side of the wall, that's going to be a different person than you knew on the inside. Just by
And
nature,
it was.
by virtue of the fact that they're in a different environment. Because prison is an alternate universe.
Mhm.
You see, so I'm glad that you got a chance to share that. And hopefully again, this conversation helps in some way. I want to say, Ms.
That's a
Burke,
lot.
wonderful. Ms. Burke, go check out for me, please.
Good night, everyone. I thought we had an amazing conversation.
Wonderful. And so is there anybody else that has anything else that they want to share before we close out for tonight? I think I got everybody, gave everybody their chance. So if otherwise, thank you guys so much for another wonderful session of Free to Heal. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. You all have a good week, and know and trust that somebody cares about you, okay? Have a
All
good
right. Miss Cheryl, enjoy your birthday. I love you.
Happy birthday, Miss
Happy birthday, Cheryl. Happy birthday, Cheryl. Good night, guys.